Oh my gosh, I got it right. You know, when you're self-producing all of this, sometimes it doesn't quite land the way that you would hope, but oh my goodness, we got it today. So yay. Hello, 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 sweet souls. It is so nice to see your faces. I see your icons, I see your messages. You guys are making me blush. And for those of y'all that are on your cycles, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. And awesome. You're a female another day, and I want to hug you and love you and give you heating pads and chocolate and whatever else that it is that you're needing. So, my goodness, you guys, I see Sandrine in our comments. Am I glowing today? Yeah, I do have this whole window thing on this side of the planet that there we go. I can't quite get rid of. Yes, it's Friday. It means it's running into the weekend. I don't know about you, but I work pretty much 7 days a week. I do try to give myself Sunday off. It doesn't always happen, but you know, it is what it is. This is what life is when you work for yourself. So my goodness. I see Sandrine. I see Antoinette. I'm glad you're here. Hi, Miss Rhonda. I'm so glad that you're here today, sweet pea. Oh my goodness, Lucy, I believe you're a new one. I'm glad to see your face here, or your icon here, rather. This sweet person is a new one, JMW. Hello, hello, hello. Oh my goodness, you guys, if you are new here, if you've never seen me work before, my name is Abby. I'm a psychic medium. I also dabble in a few other like modes of divination and things of that nature. But we're doing a few fun stuff today. And oh my gosh, did I just see my wife hop in? Okay, I have to put her on blast because she did it to herself. So that is my wife, Melissa. Aw, she says that she loves me and wear my crown. Thank you. That is my person that I've been married to. We literally, I think it's been more like 8 years, but we're working on 10 together. So, you know, we've got some time under our belt. Oh my goodness. Alicia is here. She's using her friend's Facebook account. I'm so glad to see you here. You guys, I'm seeing only like 5 likes and hearts. I have a little spot that tells me right there. We can totally do better than that. I see there's a good batch of eyes in here. If all of you could just press the like or press the heart or press the care, whatever it happens to be, just doing that helps the video perform a little bit better, shares the information, lets the Facebook gods know that I am not a crook and that I can actually do this kind of work. So I would greatly appreciate it if we could up those numbers a little bit. So go ahead, and I see it inching up there. Thank you so much. So I have my spiel that I've written out over here. I want to talk to you about a few little things before we hop in and start doing readings, but it's going to be quick. So, so no worries there. So I see your hearts coming in. Thank you so much. So like I said, hello, my name is Abby. I am today. So today the game plan is to do live readings for basically anybody that's in attendance for as long as you're here. But we are doing something new today that we normally do not do. We are doing a big giveaway. So I want you to hang tight, sit tight. I want to talk all about it and share all the details with you, right? So to hit the ground running, you think I could read this? Oh my goodness. So if you've never seen me before, I'm a tough love style of reader. The way that I approach my work is that I hold your hand while I call you on your stuff, right? So that's how I tend to do it. So love or hate it, basically, I'm going to do the best I can to give you the things that you need to understand, need to learn, need to know, those kind of things. So the way this works is that I pull a question from the audience and I allow myself a moment to get into state. And then you'll see me, because I'll have my little overhead view thing going here. You'll see me doodling, sketching, writing on my iPad. And that whole process is kind of my meditative method to connect with our guides, our guardians, our ancestors, and that kind of thing. So let me hide that real quick. There you go. So allow myself to get into state, and I start giving you my first impressions. I like to say that I'm getting information, like I said, from our guides and guardians, but it's my practice always to kind of give us the information that's in our best interest during like this phase or this state in our life. I love all sorts of questions. So I don't care if it's business related or relationship related, or if you're tapping into an ancestor from way back when. When it comes to the mediumship stuff, I may have to pass only because it takes so long for us to start validating information that I have to like hit the ground running, run at it, and then get some more details as we go. So I haven't quite decided. We may skip the mediumship stuff and go right into the psychic work, but we'll see how it goes. We'll play it by ear. So like we said, today I'm doing something a little bit different. So we've developed, me, in my royal plural, right? We've developed a robust relationship reading suite. Okay. I've talked about it a few good times, but I want to make sure I talk about it directly here, like on the nose. So what the goal is for that relationship suite is to help you guys, help myself, help anybody who's interested in getting one understand themselves better in relation to their partner, themselves, or the situation at hand, depending on the circumstances. So these readings are more than just where's my soulmate. These go deeper. These are readings that help you understand who you are as a soul, what you bring to the relationship table, how you can show up to be your best possible version of yourself for this relationship, and even how you can integrate some of the lessons that you've learned inside of that relationship so that you can move forward with, the insight, the guidance, the wisdom that this whole thing gave you. But what we're going to be doing today is that everybody who's in attendance is actually going to get a promotion code that's going to give you access to these readings for free. And I mean 100% free. It's 100% off discount code. So I'll be sharing that with you here in just a moment. So I'm going to be asking who wants one, and I'm going to be sending it to them via private message on Facebook while we're here live. I want to do this on the spot so you have access to that information so that you're not left in a lurch or I didn't miss you, okay? So let me talk to you a little bit about what's involved in these sessions so that you actually kind of understand what you're getting here. So if you haven't seen it yet, totally okay. I'll be sharing it with you here just shortly. It is 5 different relationship types. And what you'll be doing is select, I'm putting my computer on the charger. So give me 2 seconds. There we go. So what you'll be able to do is you'll be clicking the link on the website, and then you will be selecting the relationship type of reading that you're in right now. So for instance, we have new relationships. So that, for instance, you're in a new coupledom and you're just trying to figure things out. You'll be clicking on it. You'll be filling out the details. You'll be submitting the order. And in that process, you'll see where to put the discount code, and you'll see it go to 0. So $0.00. What you will also do as part of that process is you'll be scheduling an additional 30-minute consultation with me, because what I'll be doing is while you're sitting there waiting for me to get all this stuff together for you, I will be performing your reading, your session via the video. I'll record it. I'll edit it. I'm going to put it to a private YouTube link and then send it to you within the goal is 3 to 5 business days, depending on how awesome you all are about scheduling these sessions. So my goal is to get them to you pretty quickly. You'll see the video, you'll review the notes, you'll take a look, you'll kind of digest it, and then during our consultation time, you will then have the opportunity to ask any additional questions, get a little bit more feedback, open up the stuff a little bit more so that you can get a really, really good understanding and answers to the questions that were in your reading. So the reading, or the video rather, is going to be between 30 and 45 minutes. So it's a good substantial one. And there's so much that we unpack in that reading, depending on the topic, that I never want to leave you with more questions than where you started. There we go. So the 5 types of readings that we have the new relationship ones, right? We also have readings for established relationships. So those are you guys that have been together for a little while, and you're working on things and things are doing all right, but you want to understand how to do things a little bit better. We also have readings for couples who are in conflict. So you're still with your partner, but maybe it's a little wonkadoo. Let's see if we can figure out how to make that a little bit better, maybe come to a resolution, solve a problem so that you can actually move forward instead of repeating those old behaviors. We also have a reading for them singles who are ready to mingle. If you're in date mode and you're trying just to make sure that you are bringing your best self forward, or what you bring to the table, understanding what you need to do to have a better relationship with your next partner, that's a perfect one for you. I even have a session in here in the event that you've recently broken up with someone. If you are kind of I call it like breakup recovery. If you've gotten out of your dynamic, you've gotten out of your relationship, and you're just kind of licking your wounds and you're trying to figure out, why did this happen? How did this happen? What do I need to learn from it? How can I improve from it? And what do I need to do moving forward from here? So those are the bulk of kind of the things that we dig into when we're digging into that kind of reading. So I have my comment section open up over here. If you would like to participate and get a reading for yourself regarding any type of relationship style that you are in, please go ahead and throw that into the comments, and we're going to spend a minute here. sending the link, sending the code. And in addition, I have an additional promo code that I would love for you to send to a friend. Because I don't know about you, but I know that we tend to have friends that we think could really benefit from a little inside insight, right? So what you will also do is send that code to them. So it's a code for you and a code for your friend. So I see that you're letting me know in the comments. Thank you so much for that. And we're going to continue to talk about this during the session today. So if you are new, you will hear this spiel again. I will give it again to make sure that everybody has access. And I would love to be able to do this for all of you. So I'm going to hop into these comments over here and start sharing some things. So you're going to see the side of my face as I work on this. But yeah, let me make sure that you have the link and the code. So, and I will make sure that you get the friends promo code here in a bit. So you won't miss. I promise you won't miss. Uh-oh, I just realized I didn't copy the website. How dare I? Oops, come on. There we go. New relationship reading. There we go. So I want you to also understand, as I'm doing this, this will be the only time in which I will message you to say that I have a reading for you. Okay? Because sometimes people, scammers, spammers, will come in here with all this verbose language about psychic-y stuff or whatever. And understand, if it doesn't look like me, if it doesn't sound like the vernacular that I would use, it's okay not to trust it. You can totally circle back, maybe even send me a message to make sure it actually is me. Because this is the only time in which I will message you first. Often, 19 times out of 10, people have to reach out to me before I even do a session. So just letting you know, because I don't want anybody to get to scammed. What am I saying about myself right now? Okay, there we go. Copy. Yay! Send. I think Miss Tandy got it. Okay. Alicia, you're getting one. Sending it to you. Oops. Paste, please. There we go. If for some reason you did not get it, I know my notes. So we're only doing this. I'm only sending it out today, okay? So if you come back, 4 days from now, I'm like, darn it, we'll discuss. So some of you peoples. Oh, there you are, Miss Lindsay. I'm sending it to you too. There you go. Or it's coming. There you go. What else? Who else? There's Miss Tiffany. Cool. Let's see, Sandrine. Love working with my Sandrine. She's been around here for a dog's age, honey. Here we go. We got Stephanie. I believe we already got Tiffany. Antoinette. I'm pretty sure I didn't get you. There we go. Hey. Okay. I think I'm getting everyone who reached out. Okay. I'm still working on it, so give me a moment. Scrolling down. Oh, you're very welcome, Alicia. Sweet. Hi, Lizzie. You're new? One for you too, then. If you didn't hear it already, we'll talk about it again. This little message that I'm about to send you, Miss Lizzie, it is a link to a free relationship reading that we are doing as a kind of like a one-time giveaway on the live stream. So we're exploring different opportunities and different situations and different services. And I love giving you guys first access to any of them. So I'm basically just making sure I do that. Oh my goodness. Let's see. Lucy, I see. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. I did not know I could not do this on YouTube. Shame on me. All right. So Lucy Sweet Pea, I want you to send me a message by any means necessary, honey. Okay. So send me a message either on YouTube or on Facebook, whatever you have to do, and I'll make sure you get it. Okay. So no, I'm not going to skip you because I see you still recording. Yeah. I'm not going to skip it on you, hun. All right. So I'm pretty sure I got everyone. Lizzie, I got it. Alicia got it. Tiffany, I believe you got one too. Jamie Bess, where'd you go? There you are. Yes, I'm still sending it out. Oh, Miss Jamie, I need to read for you again. You're like the coolest, easiest person to read ever. Okay, so Miss Jamie, I'm gonna put you on blast in a loving way. So no worries here. Where's she at? Hold on. Where'd she go? There you are. So Jamie, she is another sweet soul who's been part of this like AV Tarot family for a good some years now. Like I don't remember if it's like 2 years or 3 years or 4 years. To me, the distance doesn't matter, but the duration of time and the quality of our readings when I did get to exchange with you is epic. So if anybody could be just, I don't know, throw hugs at Jamie, because I can't hug you, so they get to hug you for me. All righty, you all. I think we can go ahead and hop in. Absolutely, Elizabeth. I'll make sure you get one. Here we go. Lizzie got it. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. I love this. All right, you all. Sweet. And if you have any problems signing up, if you have any questions about the process, totally let me know. I do not mind answering questions, digging into it, all that kind of thing. So I do not mind at all. All right. Latoya. Gotcha. For some reason, I'm not able to do this on the YouTube side because I have Facebook open right now, and it's going to take me 15 days to figure out how to open up YouTube and not, bushwhack my stuff. So send me a message, Latoya, and I'll make sure I get you taken care of. So I know I have Lucy. I know I have Latoya. Please just go ahead and send me a message, and that'll get you taken care of. Okay. Alrighty. So are you guys ready to go ahead and dive in? I'm looking forward to reading for you all. You're so glad to be back. I'm so glad. I'm glad to be back. I just really want to make sure that I'm able to actually continue to do this kind of work for you, not just you, for everybody live, because I get so much out of it. I have so much fun, but I have a busy schedule. So long as you guys show up for me, I will continue to show up for you. So we'll do that. All right, sweet souls. So if you're ready, I'm ready. What I want you to do is to go ahead and think about your question. And I'm going to think about basically how to kind of clear out my downloads so that I can read more clearly for you. So if you have a question in mind, what I'd love for you to do is go ahead and give it a quick think, and then type it out into the comments and then copy it for yourself. That helps me delete and block people. Hold on. There you go. That helps me when it comes to like, all right, next person, you can just dump it into the comments without spamming the comments. Does that make sense? So if you have a question that you'd love for me to read on, please feel free to go ahead and type it into the comments. And I'm just going to start picking them. And while we do this, we're going to be banning and blocking people too. If somebody hops in after we've closed this session and they're messaging you, please just block them. They're not affiliated with me in any way, shape, or form. Okay. Cool. So I think we got most of it down. Have to delete this one. Sweet. And I am going to go ahead and open my above head so you can see my sketching. And to stream. And I might have to scoot over. Oh, it landed perfectly. So I haven't quite figured out how to handle the lighting yet. It's neither here nor there. So we're just going to keep it going, you guys. All righty. Let's see. Let's start with questions. Oh my goodness, you're having a baby. How cool is that? Lizzie wants to know about the next few weeks. Sweet. I love that they're coming in. Keep going. Oh, I love that somebody sent me laughs. Thank you. Jamie. Let's see. Lucy. Let's start with you, Sweet Pea. Yeah, let's start with you. Okay. Lucy, so I thoroughly want you to continue to engage. So keep your thumbs on the commenting back, because I want to, continue this conversation as we're having it. All right. So I'm going to scoot a little bit closer to the mic so I don't hopefully yell. Please forgive me in advance if I'm blowing everything out. Uh-oh. Gotta love them cordial. You know what? I'm going to get a lapel mic is what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do one day. That's what I did. Anyway. All right, Sweet Pea. So let's delete this. Lucy, sorry. Lucy, you want to know. This year's been tough. Yes, year. Any good opportunities coming your way that'll improve your current situation? Okay, let's dig in. See what we need to do. Because I can totally do predictive stuff, but sometimes we just need to know what the heck is going on here. So let me dig in. So you're probably going to see me like meandering around, looking around, not really paying attention to what it is that I'm doodling. Just, follow along with the process, hun bunch. Follow along. So Lucy, any good opportunities coming your way? So what do we need to know about Lucy? Lucy. Just trying to kind of get a feel for you and where you're at. Lucy. Yeah, I'm going to keep saying your name, and it's just kind of helping me out. So you get to see me be a weirdo. So I'm just going to start chatting a little bit about some of the first impressions that I'm getting, Hun Bunch, because the first thing that I'm getting is this mixed bag. I love that. Okay, first thing I'm getting is this encouragement to take responsibility for your side of some of the wonkiness. Um, Not at all saying it's all your fault. We're not gonna, do that. That doesn't help anybody anyway. But it's more of like the more that you take responsibility and ownership, the more that we can change things, the more that things can be changed, the more that you can affect how your you know, next year is gonna go. Also, when was the last time you decided what you're going to be doing instead of kind of going with the flow of things? Because the feeling that I'm getting, or the impression that I'm getting, is that there's been this like you started off with a goal and then it just kind of fell by the wayside, and because it fell by the wayside, then you just rode the wave, and then it was this thing and it was that thing, and it was really hard to kind of catch your breath. And so again, I'm not a blamer in any way, shape, or form, but I'm just like, these are the things that are going on just at the moment. Let's see what else is in there. And please totally let me know if that lands, if that's, yeah, that's right. Okay. Gotcha. Ah, so there's a couple things that I feel like are important for you to do that would be helpful in you kind of feeling like you've got your feet up under yourself again. Some of this is going to be basic, but I feel like it's important for you specifically. So this is why I'm heading in that direction. Part of this is I feel like we need to actually look at you getting a little bit more active physically, because I feel like, oh, you just gave me some a bit of insight. You started off, but it's affecting your mental health, and you decided to take a bit of a break. Understood. So mental health being a concern, got you. So when your mental health is a wonk, and I love using the word a wonk or wonky, when it's not the way that you need it to be, often attending to your physical can really, really be helpful. And so the first impressions that I were getting was like, we need to figure out a way to get you a little bit more active. We need to get you a little bit more Ah, I don't want to say cardio because that's just too big of a horse to kind of ride at the moment. But what I'd love to see you do is walking more, getting up more, creating a bit of a small routine for yourself that's focused on you, focused on your self care, focused on on you, on you. So with physicality, because the more you move, the more it's not even about them silly words like endorphins and all those things. Yeah, they do, right? But it's more than that. It's more of you making promises to yourself and then keeping the promises to yourself. And you keeping those promises helps you feel better about yourself, right? So when you feel better about yourself, you can show up better. You can show up more grounded, more stable, more centered, more self-assured, which then kind of also helps the mind space that you tend to stay in. So just it's a little thing that you can do to kind of help yourself. And we can totally go witchy too. For instance, if you like ritual, or if you like being a little bit more on the metaphysical end for it, you could totally create ritual for yourself, especially around let's say a new to full moon, because that would give you the opportunity to create from what is to go to where you want to be. But also, Hun Bunch, we have to decide what we want to be. Oh, you're actually exercising more? Oh, you were. Oh, I was exercising a bit more. Got you. Okay. So your system is telling you we just need to go back to that because it was working. It was working. And month is a great start, Hun Bunch. I'm sure you can pick it up. Groovy, groovy, groovy. Absolutely. So let's see what else is in there. I need to start like penning those questions. We'll figure it out as we go, you guys. What else do we need to know, Lucy? Because, another thing, I think what would be good for you if you don't already do this, I would explore weightlifting. And it's more of an exercise in getting progressively stronger and progressively better. And there's something that is so, when you're lifting heavy weights, when those weights come off, you feel like a badass. And you're like, if I can handle that, I can handle anything. So giving yourself the small torture of a weightlifting session makes the other tortures of life just seem so much smaller. in comparison. So moving your body just feels like it'd be such a win. Such a win. Let's see what else is in here. The other stuff is minor, but I feel like also equally important. You setting a goal for what you're trying to accomplish this year and keep aiming progressively in that direction. And if you don't know, just make sure that they're SMART goals, right? Not like smart, like intelligent, but like, what did they say? Like S is for specific, M is measurable, A is actionable, I believe, SMA. Let's see how I can spell. R is something that I don't remember, and timeline. Do a little bit of internet research regarding creating SMART goals so that you can actually create something that you can attain instead of just kind of like allowing it to fall by the wayside on accident because you didn't set up a system, a routine, a ritual, a process so that you cannot help but meet that goal, if that makes sense. Is there anything specific in there you'd like me to dig into a little bit further besides like, we're just talking about how you can make a better year? Because I know your direct question was, is there anything good in the year? And I'm approaching it from the side of course there is, but you can create a good year for yourself and realistic. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for that. You can create a better year for yourself by taking that ownership, taking that responsibility, and doing that process, right? Money issues in there. Mm, mm. I feel like this feels different. So when it comes to the money portion of it, it feels like you need a bit of a reality check. And I don't, ugh. I know what it means, but I'm like, because okay, the visual that I'm getting. So tell me if this if this lands for you. Hold on. You've been looking for jobs, but it just hasn't been what you want. Okay, so understandable. However, when it comes to the financial component of it, the feeling that I'm getting is like putting everything out in front of you, spreading everything out on the table, and getting very honest about what the current situation is and what needs to be done. Sometimes I find personally that if you create like a tiered triage system, that makes it makes navigating the next few months a little bit easier. And by that I mean, for instance, okay, if everything stays the same, this is what we can do. This is the budget. This is how I'll operate. This is the game plan for myself financially. If I lose hours, then this is my plan, and this is how I'll do it. This is my budget, and this is what I'll do. This is where I'll go. These are my resources. This is what I can start doing, and this is what I'll stop doing. When it goes worse, I say quote unquote worse than that. Say for instance, you lost your job and you can't get a new job. Like there's some reason you can't get a new job. Then you have spelled out, all right, I'm going to go to the state. I'm going to get this. I want to talk to my dad. I want to do blah. I want to do whatever. And just having those plans in place, even if they're just sketched out, just gives you a little bit of certainty regarding where you're at versus the worst possible scenario of you having to go back home to your mom or your cousin's couch or what have you. I hope you understand what I mean. And if you have any questions about that, totally let me know. And I have no problems unpacking that a little bit further. Just not many opportunities. Understood. I'm sure you'll figure it out, Sweepy, because you're a smart cookie. But there's like this feeling of like expanding your standards or stretching your reach a little bit, and getting you online. So maybe considering not exclusively working in person, but also working from home at a distance, I think might be useful, especially in customer service stuff. And if anything, I know it's mind numbing. Nobody wants it, for instance, or at least the feeling that I'm getting from you is that nobody wants that kind of job. The whole point is though, when you're having money issues, you need to kind of bite the bullet and just take care of business. Okay. So that's the encouragement. Bite the bullet, take care of business. Bite the bullet, take care of business. All righty, Sweet Pea. Well, thank you so much for allowing me to read for you, Sweet Pea. I appreciate it. Make sure you get that message over to me. Okay. All righty, Sweet Pea. Oh my goodness. Let's see if I can get rid of this one. Hold on, let me make sure that is. Nope. Block and delete. There we go. Perfect. Sweet pea. So, thank you, Laurie. And thank you so much, Lucy. I appreciate that. So, sweet peas. I love that there's an Abby Jones here. My name's Abby too. How awesome are we? Anywho, you guys, please go ahead and uh, see. I keep getting caught up because I know that I'm sorry, Kiana. I know this is you messed me up, honey. I had this whole spiel, and then this popped up, and I'm like, all right. So, sweet souls, if you have a question that you'd like for me to read on, please feel free to go ahead and throw that question into the comments. I'm going to grab the next one that shows up. And while that is coming in, those of you who are new, if you are new here, do you know that we are giving away free relationship readings? Not here in this live stream, but we're giving away a big deep dive into your relationship dynamic. If you would like to understand how you present yourself in relationships, either your current relationships or your past ones, or maybe you're in conflict with your partner, if you would like to understand more about how you are presenting yourself, how you are arriving in those relationships, how you can maneuver inside them and make yourself a better partner to yourself and to others, we are providing a one-time deep discount on our relationship. I call it suite. It's a suite of services. It's a suite of services. This coupon code is good for one reading of your choice, and it's a deep reading. It's a 30 to 45-minute video reading, after which you then schedule a 30-minute consultation where you and I talk live to kind of unpack what you just read, pack what you just listened to, and see if there's any more details that are necessary or that create a game plan for yourself moving forward to kind of hit the goals that you have for yourself inside relationships. So I just sent a ton of those links out to a bit of the community. If you are new and you're just hearing about this and you'd like to participate, please feel free to go ahead and let me know in the comments, and I'll go ahead and send you a link because I have Facebook going on over here. I'll message it to you privately. And this is the only time where Abby is going to be messaging you anything. So if anybody anywhere else says that they're messaging you, it's not me. This is the only time that Abby's going to be doing it during this live. And then we'll be running into the next question. So Kiana, yes, you need a link. Hello. I'm going to send it your way, CP. Here we go. You should be getting it here in just a minute. There you go. Send message. Sweet. Thank you, Kiana. All right, so I see all these beautiful messages that are coming in. This is a good one. Okay, so Elizabeth, thank you so much for your question. So let me pin it so I don't lose it. There we go. You want to know how you can bring in a new relationship. What a fabulous question, Honeyface. So, did I call you Honeyface? Oh my goodness. I hope you don't mind. You know how some people don't like to be called Hun, or don't like to be called, it's like a Southern vernacular pet name. Like they dislike it. So the fact that I called you Honeyface, I feel is like slightly disrespectful because I'd rather just call you Sweet Pea and stay at that. So apologies. My apologies. You guys, I'm from Arkansas originally. I got them Southern roots in me. All right. So Elizabeth. So we're going to start sketching for her. Elizabeth. You want to know how to bring in a new relationship. For you, in addition, and please feel free to double dip. I don't mind this at all. After this session, if you'd still like to unpack this further, then use the single ready to mingle spread reading. That would be a really, really good one for you in that regard. Okay, so what can we do? What do we need to know? Elizabeth, to bring in a new relationship. Just getting myself in state, feeling all kind of tingles. That's good. I love how sweet you feel. Like you feel like just a sweet little soul. Aww. What can you do to bring in a new relationship? Why do you remind me of like teddy bears and Winnie the Pooh? Like maybe that's why I'm calling you like Honeyface. You're like, you just feel like a ball of sweetness to me. So I'm trying to wade through the sweetness because I'm like, okay, well, we have a question. Let me see what's going up. What do you need to know? that I'm getting actually, hun, is not so much that you need to change a whole lot. I feel like it's more of what you need to maintain when you find a relationship, if that makes sense. Because the feeling I'm getting is more in relation to boundaries. It's like, when you get a new relationship, we have a hard time speaking up for ourselves because we're too worried about rocking the boat or saying too much or being too extra or, all of this second thought, that whole thing. So it's just like, I'm feeling like it's not so much bringing it in because you're a beautifully, wonderfully attractive young lady who would, any person would be fortunate to get you. And yes, I went all accent mode because it's fun. So what is it that I need to do? No, I feel like it's standards. It's maintaining your standards. It's maintaining your sense of self. It's not giving up yourself when you are inside the relationship. It's being open and honest with yourself. Also, acknowledging red flags, not just abandoning ship, but having boundaries. Boundaries. What do you need to do? 'Cause I feel like you're in a relatively good place where relationships for you are um not like bad for you per se. Like you're not in a situation where it's like, oh my God, don't do it because it's bad timing. It's more of like you're in a great space to be challenged in that way. So I feel like it feels like it's a matter of timing for you. So you don't really have to do anything per se. It's just staying open to it, staying available for it, and then when it shows up, maintaining your autonomy while you're inside of it. Does that make sense? And I'm totally looking out for your what do you call it? Your comment words. Oh, she says pet names are adorable. Okay. Thank you. Ah, oh my goodness. Oh, I want to make sure I got your comments. There you go. It does. Good, 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 good. Good, good, good. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to you're shy. See, maybe that's why you're just a super sweet pea. You're super sweet. Because even being shy has its own benefits. It has like this demure, it has intrigue, it has like, oh, don't look at me kind of thing to it, which is really appealing to a lot of people. However, it's just when you're in it, that's the question mark for me is when you're in it, I just want you to be a little bit more autonomous and having your own sense of independence, having boundaries, having the courage to speak up for the things that are important to you and those kind of stuff. So you're scared of dating. I see. I'm telling you, you need to dig into that that other relationship stuff so that we can kind of unpack what's going on there for you. Um, because in all reality, hun, like let's actually talk about that directly. You said that you're scared of dating. You want a relationship, but you're scared to do the thing it takes to get relationships. Often, if we understand why, it usually is a lot in relation to trying to avoid pain. But the hardship with it is with relationships, working with other people, it comes with its fair bit of heavy lifting and hard workouts and pain. And it's not that it's a bad thing through, gosh, what was it? I had a whole little like affirmation that I can't even remember at the moment, but the whole point of it ultimately is trying to remind you that we have to deconstruct things to build new things. Pain is a process of growth. We have growth spurts and pains that show up from it, right? We have, oh gosh, we have cycles. We have, what do you call it? This whole season cycle where we go through this kind of painful fall winter phase to come back up through this spring phase. And the spring phase is all beautiful and wonderful and lovely and all of that. Scared of rejection, understood. Yay! I think we got it. Oh my goodness, you all. I'm so sorry about that. I think the platform like died, like straight up died. Anywho, I am so glad that you're here. I'm so glad that you're hanging out with me. We will just continue and we'll push it out a little bit further. Okay. So we'll make sure everybody gets all the time they need. I think I'm going to stop doing the overhead view just to not tax the internet too much. So we'll do it like this. Yes, Denise, we're back. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You guys, I'm so grateful that you hung out with me because I don't know like how many people would just, stick it out, So thank you guys for hanging in there with me. You guys mean the world. You mean the world. So Elizabeth, okay, let's see where we were at. You said that you're scared of dating. We're talking about it. We'll dig in a moment. Let's I'm so disheveled now. You gotta hate how that goes. So let's move this stuff. Okay, we got that. We got this. I'm just gonna continue to look down while I start doing our sketch and our stuff. Let's see if there's anything else that we need to know. Elizabeth. See, there we are. We feel you in your sweetest bundt cake, and I love it. Okay. Did I see you say something regarding rejection? Like you're scared of rejection a little bit. And I could have sworn I saw somebody else also say that, yeah, dating is a bit of an interview process. Totally. And it took you, oh, I love this. Took a few frogs before you found your person. That's oh. I'm missing whole conversations. I'm loving this. Hold on. You've tried them, and after 2 days, I'm out. What did we try? Did we try sites? Got you. Yeah, that's a fun and weird one. No. Thank you, Kiana. I'm glad you're back. Lori, thank you everyone telling me that I froze up. Okay, I think I'm getting closer. I think I'm getting close to everything. There we go. Okay, so Elizabeth, let's see. What else do we need to know before we just scooch it on in, hun? Getting a person. Everything that's showing up for you is not talking anything about you getting a person. I feel like you getting the person is the easy part. That's the easy part. It's the sustaining the situation. It's the sustaining your relationship, the dynamic, and the thing that you're looking for. I know we talked about boundaries. I know we talked about standards. Stuff regarding your standards is showing up a little bit. What else is in here? Because also, there's this balance. There's a healthy balance with having standards and then having impossible benchmarks that nobody can measure up to. So there's a mixed bag of that where I don't know if you've ever done this exercise. I talk about it on occasion where you have a glass of wine with yourself, take yourself out on a date, and then write down a list. And I mean an exhaustive list of everything under the sun that you can think of that you want in your next ideal person, right? Because you having very, very clearly defined metrics kind of helps you know exactly what it is that you're looking for, but also helps the universe to deliver. So it's really, really useful in that regard. You said something here, low confidence is another issue with you. Okay. Like in this kind of situation, I feel like you and I would really benefit from kind of unpacking what's going on with you as a person to see how we can set you up a little bit better, or at least point you in the right direction towards kind of healing some of those wounds that's perpetuating that low confidence, that low stuff that you got going. What else we got here? What else do we need to know? Because everything I'm getting, like I'm going back to it. I know I'm kind of harping on it a little bit. You are a perfectly wonderful soul that is deserving of everything that you've ever hoped for and daydreamed about and wanted for yourself. I hope eventually you will think the same about yourself, because your person is only going to like measure up to the level that you've set for yourself. So if you believe you're only worthy of toads, then toads are all that's going to show up for you. If you have some bravery and you're like, I'm going to nervously require big, whatever you need to do. Um, just a little bit more, if that makes sense. I'm sure it does. There you go. You sent me hearts, and I see that my my internet is being a pain in the bum. Oh my goodness, you guys. We'll keep it going. We'll keep it going. If it dies out again, I promise I will come back. Okay, I will come back. We will not abandon ship. We're not doing that. Denise, that's another good point. That is another good finding hobbies that you enjoy. Another thing. Also, the funny thing is, another thing that's really helpful for our confidence sometimes is actually doing things that are just completely unusual to us. And by that, I mean, have you ever considered, like, I don't know, mixed martial arts? Have you ever gone boxing? And it's just, if you have a little bit of gumption, a little bit of bravery to go and do a thing that you've never done before that's insane by your normal metrics, then that helps the confidence a bit. It's like, if you can do this, you can do that, and it boosts it up. And I don't know about you, but a woman who knows how to box, that is really good for the self-esteem, because nobody can get away with murder on that note. Anywho. All right, Sweet Pea. Well, thank you so much. I so appreciate your question, Sweet Pea. Let's go ahead and keep it going. And I want to make sure that you all are aware of the free relationship readings that we are doing as a promotion for them kind of being new and into the production. So if you didn't hear it a moment ago, kickboxing, there you go. If you didn't hear about our relationship suite of readings, please let me know. And I have no problems going ahead and sharing that with you again. Oh my goodness, am I really that pixelated? I just looked over here and I'm like, oh goodness, darling. Kiana, I'm going to hop into that question because I know some of you have been here a few times. I know we talked about it. I might just share it with the Facebook interwebs because, we didn't quite get the opportunity to do it the way that we so choose. All right, Kiana, that's a freaking awesome question. Let's dig into it and see what the heck's up here. What is up here? Your mom hates you. Your stepmom. Your stepmom. The funny thing is, I wanted to ask, like, how do you know that she hates you? But I bet you she did. So I believe you. I believe you in advance. So let's take a peek in there to see what we can find out, see what information we can get with this stepma of yours. Kiana. Honey, you can't fix people, right? Because, I know you know that rationally, but part of you still wants to be approved of. Let's look around this. Around some more. All right, Sweepy. So the thing that I'm feeling most the thing that I'm feeling most of is that you trying to appease this woman is a fool's errand. So it's basically just, it's not your job to fix another person's feelings about you. Another person's feelings about you is none of your business. What else is in there? And it's impossible. Like, woman's not a deep trying. Christ. If this thing doesn't stop, we'll have to figure out what's going on here. Let me see if I can also reduce the bandwidth or the taxing width on the interwebs. There we go. Maybe that'll help out a bit. I'm closing all the other stuff down. We'll leave that one up. This can close. My website can close. That can close. There we go. We're going to get it. We're going to get it. Okay. So the energy of there's not anything to fix that you need to worry about fixing because it's not your job to fix this. If she wants to have a better relationship or a connection with you, she needs to do her part. But if she's not willing to, then it's, you're beating against a brick wall. My godmother used to say something along the lines of like trying to fix other people is like trying to run a three-ring circus, and it's not your monkeys and it's not your circus. So you trying to control another person's opinion about you or change someone else's perception is kind of pointless. And it really just does, it stresses you out, right? So instead, what can we do instead? Is it possible for you to continue to show up in a respectful manner? Um, in the way that respectful, because that could be a whole other ball of wax. But what you think is respectful in your integrity, um, honoring your autonomy, that kind of thing. Are you able to do that? You can tell how she treats me when she is mad that my dad has kids. Honey, that is not, I mean, okay, maybe I have a question. I have a follow-up question. Can be important to you? If that, I think that question makes sense. Why is her opinion important to you? Because I have a few small criteria regarding whose opinion is important to me, and it's people who affect my money. Your opinion's important to me. It's people who affect my relationship with my son and my wife. Their opinions are important to me. And then there's a few like gray areas, like my mom. My her opinion of me is important, but her and I have a relationship where it's more important to be honest and truthful with each other. So we will press each other's buttons, we'll piss each other off because that's the relationship that we've built. So even when she doesn't like me because I did something, if I stood up for myself and it felt important to say what I needed to say about XYZ situation, then I can live with myself and she eventually can live with me too. So those are like the only situations in which somebody else's opinion of me matters. So that's just me though. So why does her opinion matter for you? That's a question I would love to understand a little bit more, Supi. It's not hers, it's your dad asking me to try. It takes two. So it's like if she won't try and she's mad that she has kids, yeah, your dad has kids, it seems like your dad's asking the wrong person. That's also not your responsibility. It's not exactly appropriate, right? So, hmm. So there's a couple ways of going about it, because to me there's this very mature method that's a little bit healthier regarding boundaries, personal responsibility, autonomy, and the nature of your relationship. There's that, and then there is the way in which they're actually trying to get you to do it, and it's like how can you bridge the gap between the two? Mm, I know you love your dad, you care about him, you care about his opinion. It still feels like he needs to have the conversation with her because it's not your job to fix that. Okay, circling back, the big thing that I'm getting, honey, is even when I'm trying to like put you in the whole like, okay, so let's pretend that we could. What would we do? I can't pretend enough to do it. So what we're gonna say instead is, you are a grown, beautiful woman. Your stepmom not liking that her husband has kids is not your problem, and it's not your problem to fix. You also can't fix it. So trying to is just going to create more insanity for you. If possible, talking to your father about how it may be a better use of time and energy to understand why she's so insecure, why she's so upset that he has kids, why he married a person who has kids if she didn't like that. That to me is like he picked a wonky woman. It's like I would imagine if she didn't like that he had kids, she knew he had kids to begin with. And if he didn't, and your dad is that kind of person that kept it secret the entire time they were dating, then oh my gosh, what kind of relationship are they having? And that's it, their circus. Not your monkeys, not your circus. That's their circus. Let them have it. But you trying to make something out of this relationship is not your job and not your responsibility. It is not your job to try to make a person like you that fundamentally doesn't like that you exist. It's not worth the energy. And again, it may not even be you. It's just the concept, oh, he has kids. It seems like she's just not okay with that. And so she's a brat, essentially, and wicked amounts of immature is all that I'm getting off of that. Right? She sounds like she has issues of her own. Ah, hi, Cynthia. It has been a minute. But I hope that makes sense, CP. You don't know how to be respectful to her when she continues to not speak. Then don't. It's not her. Okay, I was making sure I didn't lose your stuff. Honey, there's nothing saying that you have to bow down to this woman, okay? There's no one saying, I mean, maybe your dad, but if she's not speaking to you, acknowledge her presence when you walk into her room, shake her hand if she's willing. Hi, Auntie, my whatever her name is. Hello, be nice, be courteous, be sweet, do the social acceptable thing. But if she is not willing to participate, it is no longer your responsibility to hold space for it. It's like, hey, I did my part. Hey, Pops, look, I said hi. Hi. Okay, she threw something. It's no longer your job. And the fact that he's trying to put that on you, that's a little inappropriate. And it's also not your job to try. I don't know, honey. We can continue to beat that into the ground if you need to. But honestly, long story short, it is not your job to try to make this woman change her opinion about the family style that her husband has. That's not your job. Not your job at all. Tell her to go to therapy. Maybe that'll be useful. See, even Miss Denise, you're a great daughter, but yes, you can set some boundaries. Absolutely. Absolutely, guys. So let's keep it reading, you guys. I know I fell out for a minute there. I'm going to keep pushing for a little while longer. I want to make sure we get as many people attended to as we can. And I will post about the relationship readings after our session's over. So we'll just make sure that everyone gets it there. Alrighty. Sandrine, I don't really dig into dreams because I find them to be too amorphic. So the best thing that I can tell you surrounding that is do a journaling process to kind of unpack the meaning. You work with tarot, right? Like, see if you can find a tarot spread that can do that. I personally make a point of not digging into dreams because they're a whole other ball of wax, You're in therapy, can you tell? Yes, actually, I've heard that, especially when we're kind of in the first 6 months to a year, we tend to share the therapy vernacular often with our community. So I love that you did that. Let's dig into this one. This is a big old question. So hi, Abby. Hi, Joy. Good to see you again. Mwah, mwah. You really want to quit your 9-to-5 and go all in on your small business and be your own boss, but you're finding it hard to get motivated and really want to put your all in. I always have great ideas and I never follow through. I'd like to know what mental blocks are taking place and if I will ever overcome those blocks and get on the road to living my epic life. Ooh. Big old question. I love that. Oh, thank you, Olga. Let's see. What are your mental blocks? So, honey, this is a big one. I love that so big. So let's break this into pieces, and so we'll back into a few aspects of it. I want to leave it up for a bit while I try to also scan for your responses. So you want to quit your 9-to-5 and go in on your small business. Joy, tell me what your business is. I want to go ahead and start trying to get into state a bit. You're finding it hard to get motivated. Small business. Motivated. There's so many ways to go about it, but A couple things. You sell head wraps. Okay, sweet. Ah, people. Block. Delete. There you go. So head wraps. Okay. You know, the funny thing is, hon, I'm pausing because I'm trying to sift through what I'm understanding your business to be. Because, you know, the feeling that I'm getting first and foremost is a little reckless for you. So, okay, imagine this and then tell me how insane it is. Okay. And then we'll continue working it from there. Um, what do you think would happen to your motivation if you quit your 9 to 5 and then went all in to your business? Because I say that because nothing is more motivating than fear. You know, how often do we do things because we're scared of what's going to happen if we don't? So it's just like if you're worried about making sure the rent gets paid, you will make sure you got enough head wraps up to sell. You know, you will stretch your boundaries a little bit more. You will go to the what is it, the trade show. You will do the business thing. You will give head wrap. I want head wrap now. Whoever is just walking, you will figure out what is necessary to get it done. Right? You even just said you would amp it up for sure. I bet you would. you, I bet you would. However, I also, if it is possible for you to get enough liquid under your belt so that you can not rely on the business to support your life, that would be a sane method of going about it. But I understand totally if you want to just hop all the way in like that, right? Lori's even saying jump in with both feet. It is terrifying to do it that way. And I say that from having been a family member who's done that. My wife and I did that like together. I was already working for ourselves or for myself independently. And then she quit her 9 to 5 and went all into our business. And we've been growing it ever since. However, there's other aspects that I feel like is really important for you to be aware of, that there's a lot of distance between quitting the 9 to 5 and epic life. Okay. There's a lot of distance between there. So I would love for you to understand a little bit more of what does your epic life look like. And also while you're writing out what your epic life looks like, what does it cost? Because so often we want this and that and the other, and we think it's so much, it's so many millions, I'll never get there. Maybe not. You know, I used to think about how I always wanted to have a private plane because you know I'm that kind of person. And we found out, oh, actually, it is much cheaper. Instead of buying a plane, you can charter and kind of like rent a plane, and it's so much cheaper to do that. And that's actually within the budget. Like I could do that. I'm not gonna because it seems just more obnoxious than I need to be right now. But it is totally with less than what I thought it was. You have kids, and I have to think of, and you're a widow, and it's all on me. So jumping in with both feet scares me, but I bet it does. I bet it does. I do think you having more of the numbers of what it would take to live responsibly, live happily, a little reckless, not too reckless, you know, maybe a casino night every now and then. And then like live epic, you know, rock star status, maybe like actually put dollar figures to what it would take to live per year or work per year, per month, per week, so that you could get that lifestyle to live that epic life. If it's travel, if it's vacations, if it's this kind of food, if it's someone doing your hair every weekend, you know, these kind of things. Put everything into it. Get a really clear understanding of what it's going to take to live your epic life so that you have the literal numbers for what you need to sell, to do, to produce on your side business. Because you might end up finding either it totally can do it can do it under certain circumstances, or it can do it if you scale it monstrously. Or maybe it won't because there's an ethic morality compass that you're not willing to compromise on. At least then you'd know. Let's see, what else is in there? Alicia, you have to head out. Hi, bye. Bye, sweet pea. That's what I meant to say. Bye, Alicia. What else is in here? I don't think there's so much regarding like mental blocks, mindset, that kind of thing. Cause I feel like you are sane and you're realistic your in your projects and the things that you're trying to do. I think you just don't have enough info yet, is the feeling that I'm getting out of that. Let's see. And then along, okay, so there's a side thought that's coming through, and that's also having a backup plan. Being like, for instance, if you quit your 9 to 5 and you dove all into your head wraps, and then you realize 6 months in and that you're like, not making enough. I'm not making enough. I'm not making enough. I'm not freaking necessary capital to kind of shore up some of the finances with the issues and stuff that's coming up. And that's when you're like, okay, I can do Uber Eats, or I can do Rover, or I can do, whatever thing that you need to do so that you can at least shore up the finances so you're not, starving. And get those kids to work too. Maybe not so much work so that they can feed the family kind of thing, but like they can work so that they can take care of their own wants so that you can take care of the needs. Does that make sense? And also, it kind of, once they're out of the house, you don't have to feed them so much. So just, just saying. What else is in here? Yeah. So just to circle back to directly answer your question, your epic life. I want to make sure I get it. There it is. So you want to quit your 9 to 5, go all in your small business and be your own boss. Okay, I feel like being your own boss, you have to remember that it's not nearly as glamorous as it sometimes seems like it would be, especially when we're in the thick of it. So I wouldn't glamorize being your own boss, only because as a woman who's being her own boss, it is not always like pretty. I'd much rather have somebody make all the decisions and just tell me what to do. I like being in charge. I like being kind of like the forefront, the presser, the idea, the concept, the stuff. But oh my gosh, it's 19 hats, and sometimes it's exhausting. So just saying, being your own boss, totally understand. I understand the luxury. I understand the novelty and the romantic notion of it. Just yeah, it's not always as romantic as it seems. So just that. You're finding it hard to get motivated and really put your all in. Got you. I still think sometimes that whole notion of diving, like swan diving in, is really motivating, but you having responsibilities feels like it is more sane for you to literally have numbers attached to what your needs are so that you know what the business needs to do. And I don't mean spend 5 weeks building a business plan. I mean, spend an evening figuring out the numbers. What do you need for life to work? How many reps you need to sell for it to work? What is the profit margin that you need to support the business and the family? Support the business only, support just the supplies only, and you'll be feeding it some from the savings. Kind of create some numbers for yourself so you know what makes sense and what is absolutely insane. It's just a thought there. I always have great ideas but never follow through. I love that you have good ideas. I have that too. Don't look at that whole lack of follow through thing as a reason as to why you shouldn't do this business. Okay, it's just you have inspiration abound, right? And you will figure out how to do it. You will figure out how to go about it, how to take care of it, how to do all the things. You will figure that out. You'd like to know what mental blocks are taking place. I think it's information, not so much blocks. And if you'll ever overcome these blocks and get on the road to living your epic life. Yeah. So to answer that part of the question, to me, it feels like once you've decided that anything else is no longer an option, then you won't help but be able to do that. So I know we talked about it for a quick second there of like swan diving into your business. If the money makes sense, then do it. Tony Robbins said something once that I loved. If you want to take the island, you have to burn the boats. And by that, I mean, if you want a goal, you have to make any other option no longer possible. Freaking hell. Scary as heck. But I guarantee you, if you, for instance, quit your job tomorrow and knew that wraps is going to be the thing that's going to keep you and your kiddos alive, you'll do whatever it bleeding takes to make sure you sell enough wraps to take care of you and the babies. I believe that 100%. Anywho, thank you so much for letting me read that big old question for you, Sleepy. I appreciate you. Yeah, it's definitely not glamorous. You've been a full-time entrepreneur for 13 years. You have good days and bad days, honey. I've only been doing it for maybe like 5. And then I was a designer. I was a lead designer for another 5 years before that. None of it is glamorous. At least that's not my been. I'm sorry, that's not been my experience of the glamour. God, I wish it was more glamour. You know what I always wanted? I wanted to be able to go out and have lunch whenever I wanted. What ends up happening is that I have a rigid schedule that is modular and flexible in some avenues, but I am responsible for everything. Lunch out doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. What happens is an ant on my wall. That's what happens. And also, what do you call it? Meal prepping. That's what happens. That's what happens being an entrepreneur. Or at least that's the less than glamorous side of it. Thank you so much for that question. Alrighty, sweet souls, let's do a little bit more. Oh, look at this. Antoinette's like, if you need somebody, she's here. I love that. You guys connect because I think that'll be beneficial. And maybe Antoinette can kind of help you guys or help both of you. Maybe Antoinette can assist with some of the foundational work to kind of help you understand what needs to happen so that you can make that transition a little bit more smoothly and less epic fall, if that makes sense. Oh my gosh, even Lori is like, you love being your own boss, but right now your business is resting. Awesome. All right, sweet peas, let's pull in another question. I'd love to. Sorry, I was reading your comments and you guys are sweet as heck. Let's do another question, sweet peas. All right, scrolled all the way down. I'll pull up the next question that shows up that I feel called to, feel connected to. We want to make sure we wind the evening down with a bang. So please feel free to go ahead and throw your question into the comments. Then I'm going to do the next one. Am I in the wrong spot? I'm in the wrong spot. Probably. It's all good. Let's see. Oh, thank you. Have a good laugh. I appreciate it. Let's see. Oh, let's see. I see your question. I think it's DeRay, but give me a second. I want to see if there's some more dynamics in there. Let's see. So we had a bunch of other stuff too. Oh, I see projects. I see. So I love to read for people who are actually in the room. That's the reason why I do it this way. And hi, Tony. Because so many people hop in and hop out. I don't want to see your question and pass and then read for it. You're not even here. That's why I do it that way. All right. Hi, Lori. So I'm going to answer Lori's question, and then you please continue to throw in your question. I'd love to see the question that you'd like for me to read on. Put it into the comments. I'm going to pull one. But first, I want to answer this to Miss Lori. How have I been? I've been. I never like answering that question with the cliche. I've been good. How about you? Because it's not always good. It's not been bad though. Like I just recently went to San Francisco with my wife. It's kind of like a little vacation, and we visited Alcatraz. So cool. I'm such a history buff. It's and I have this weird thing with prisons. I think I have a past life or an associate. Actually, I did a little bit of past life work, and I do have an association with Alcatraz. But that's for another stream. But I love to see in the prison. It's not nearly as creepy as people make it out to be, and it's an absolutely beautiful space. And there's so many birds. There were so many birds and babies. Like the hatchlings were just big enough to start flying. So all you see are these nervous seagull parents and these gray fluffy seagull birds who are just It was too adorable. It's too adorable, and it was so awesome being able to traverse on the ferry to go to Alcatraz. Awesome. I thoroughly recommend it. But overall, I'm tough. I'm worn out. I'm a little tired most days, but I'm good. I think I am good overall. I'm expanding. It's like growing pains. Yeah, that's where it is. So it's like, yeah, I'm good mostly, and then like, ow, I hurt, or my foot hurts right now, or I'm trying to work out a little bit more. I'm trying to strength train, all these things. So it's good overall. It's good overall. All right. You're just popping hi to just dropping in to say hi. Thank you so much for coming. It's all good, sweet pea. Deborah, it was so nice seeing you here. All right, let's see. My dear is this Anastasia? Anastasia? I need to understand how that's said. You've been struggling with job and money. What when do you see me financially stable? In what direction should I move? Let's see. Rhonda had a question. I think I want to. Where's Miss Rhonda? Huh. I want to do Rhonda. I know Rhonda. There you are. Anastasia, I might do both. I might do both, but I want to make sure I take care of Miss Rhonda. What was your question, sweet pea? There you are. You're here. So, Miss Rhonda. Uh, honest. Oh God, I'm so terrible. Okay, we're just gonna keep going. So, Miss Rhonda, I'm reading for you, hun. That's what's gonna happen. But I'm gonna take care of Miss Anastasia first because I said her name. So, share with me your question, sweet pea, and then as soon as I see it come through, I will pin it so I don't lose it. It was about your business. Gotcha. You might need to retype it because I've lost it in the comments. Okay, so Anastasia, I saw it a moment ago. There we go. I'm pinning it. And as soon as I see yours, Rhonda, I'm going to pin that one so we don't lose you. Okay. So your question, darling face. And thank you, Antoinette. All right. You've been struggling with job and money. When do you see me financially stable? When do we see you financially stable? I'm struggling with money. When do we see you financially stable? Ooh. Because your other question about what direction should you move? Do you mean like physical move, like moving, like moving residency, or moving careers kind of thing? So I might need you to give me a little bit of clarity there. Well, let me see if we can give some job money wisdom in that. I'm struggling with job and money. Struggling with job and money. Struggling with job and money. I'm feeling like 4 different things that need to be attended to there. Job, money. Let me just start off with the top, because some of the smaller things are just things that need to be taken care of because they need to be taken care of. Other stuff, I feel like there's some garbage going on in there, dude. Okay, so let me give you, I'm going to give you what I am getting, and then we'll understand how it applies here in a second. Because the feeling that I was getting was it like you getting passed up for a raise or passed up for a promotion that you are really well qualified for. And it feels stupid as to why you would have gotten passed up. It feels more like, oh, well, this is my buddy, so I'm going to hire them kind of thing. So it just feels like garbage that didn't happen. And I feel like that racks with your esteem, your self-esteem as an employee. Is the kind of work that you're doing, is this even worth it? Is kind of the feel that I got off of you while digging into that. So let's see what else is in here. What's in here? I feel like you're a busy person. Are you doing 2 jobs? I feel like you're exhausted. And it reminded me of the feeling of when I was working like 60-hour days when I was so very pregnant. So I just felt very exhausted. Let's see now. Struggling with job and money, financially stable. Okay. I feel like we're so the when you will be financially stable. I would love to say, oh, in October, I see you being financially stable. It doesn't feel like that. It feels more like there's actions and steps that need to happen so that you can be financially stable. That's where I'm getting it. So it's less pie in the sky. If you just survive until this thing, it's going to magically work out. It's more like, no, we actually got to get our hands in the pots, maneuver things, and then then living within all the means, that gives you the ability to be financially stable, if that makes sense. So let me kind of keep working in here a little bit. You were sitting in front of me. This is one of those moments where I want to call you on your stuff a little bit. So out of love, right? Okay. The feeling I'm getting is that there's a little bit of lying to ourselves about something. And I don't know if it's the financial habits or the financial circumstances, or if it's like you're trying to make yourself feel better than it actually is. And so then we tend to overspend because of X, Y, Z circumstances. And I see that comments are coming in, so I'll totally look at those in just a sec. But I feel like we need a touch of, I kind of like come to Jesus, like we need to understand everything. And then once we understand everything, the next logical step ends up being very clear. And it's going to require doing something that you don't actually want to do. So for instance, if you're recognizing I don't make enough to cover my monthly expenses, just very generic, right? We're being very basic with this. If you're starting to realize you do not make enough to cover your basic expenses, how can you either lower your expenses or bring up your income? Well, there's 14 resellers in here that can show you or teach you all about how to resell to bring in additional income. But there's also many other ways in which to do kind of like second shift kind of style of work, or what did we just mention? We just mentioned like Uber Eats, Rover, a few other like those kind of things to do gig style work. If you can't do that or don't want to do that, there's, working from home, customer service, chat service. There's so many other things. So I'm just wondering what can be done to bring in more income or lower those expenses. Or maybe an approach for both. When do you see me financially stable? When you are militant about watching what your money is doing, so that you're no longer surprised, you're no longer blindsided, you're no longer unaware of something that's occurring. It's a daily religious almost practice for you to be mindful about what your expenses are doing. And I want to make sure I understand what your comments are doing. Like what to improve your situation. There you go. Whatever you do, nothing works. Now you're exhausted. You're mentally exhausted. But now I'm just looking for a job and can't find another way for income. Hold on, I'm trying to click this one. You feel I do something wrong but can't get what? Okay. So the first thing whenever I get that question, like I feel like something's blocking me. The only thing that's blocking you is you. And the reason that I feel so very comfortable and confident in saying that is because it's like there is nothing under the sun that can prevent you from doing the thing that you want to do. We have free will. Look at your legs. You have knees that bend in a very specific direction, right? If we wanted to put on a knee brace, it doesn't matter how many braces we put on, your knee is only going to go in one direction. And until Jesus takes it off and puts it off and twists it around, you're not going to bend like a chicken. The whole point that I'm getting to by being a weirdo and talking about it like that is that there's nothing under the sun that is actually blocking you in that regard. We have to get creative. We have to think differently. We have to maintain ownership and responsibility and be willing to do some hard shit. And it's uncomfortable and it's scary and it sucks. I know this firsthand. I know it sucks, but it's possible. And the whole thing, though, is that we still got to remember the possibility. What else is in here? Hold on. Let's see. What else do we need to know? Because if you believe that something or someone else is blocking you, then it prevents you from being willing to take responsibility for what's going on for you. So if you do go ahead and kind of lean hard into the I don't know what yet, the whole thing, I can do I can do this, I can figure it out, I can do the thing. If you can lean into that, then at least being open to it will do so much more for opening opportunities, seeing insights, that kind of thing, than something's blocking me, something's in the way, everything's against me, it never lands right. What can we do to get you feeling better? Because that'll help. Ooh, sorry, I was just doodling and I had this whole visual in my head about you going to like the park and then finding a spot kind of in the grass or on the sun or someplace that you like, and taking your journal or a notebook with you and kind of just writing a story of what your life would be like being financially stable, of being in that job that you like write a story as though it is now, um like it is now, or write a prayer even, as though the life that you're wanting to live is already in existence. Um, the technique is called scripting. You can totally like look it up, do a tiny bit of research. But the reason that I'm suggesting it is because you're not over here trying to trick yourself into believing that your life is amazing. But what it does is like when you finally like let yourself kind of just like be grateful and thankful for this life that is so financially free and abundant, and you love it and you're like all relaxed and kind of like, I can't wait to go home and watch it on my 16-foot TV or whatever, be obnoxious, like go full on in. It makes you feel like $1,000,000 for a minute, and it feels so good. And let yourself feel freaking good, because sometimes that in itself just kind of interrupts the garbage that's going on in your head, so that you can kind of get out of the way and see things a little bit clearly. So allow yourself to feel good by pretending in advance. Put in your request, pretend in advance, and feel how freaking awesome it is. Let's see what else we got going in there. Yeah, yes, manifestation stuff is definitely helpful. I'm a fan of what is it? I can't remember the quip. Not even a quip. It's like a proverb. Something about like, yes, you can manifest. Yes, you can say the prayer, but action still needs to occur. So, what can you still do while you're daydreaming about this wonderful life? How can you go ahead and start, job hunting in a different area? How can you start reaching out for work in a different industry? How can you maybe expand the distance in which you're willing to work, kind of thing? Does that make sense? Yeah. Let's see what else. What else? Yeah, because anything you can do to start feeling a little bit better will be helpful first. Okay. So I think the scripting bit will work. And I saw something that made sense. You go, oh, you're going to the park every day for a walk, and you'll do that. Yeah. Find yourself a good little seat and just get in your hair, ears. And yes, you're doing it sometime before the manifestations. Gotcha. I mean, anything that can help. Anything that can help. And also simultaneously understand exactly the numbers, understand the exact numbers. And if you're lacking financial literacy, there's so many books about it. There's so many books. Heck, honey, like I bet you 9 of us in here can throw out 15 books that will help in regards to that. Because I know, gosh, I keep thinking of Dave Ramsey for you. That's really good, especially if you have some debt to start off with. Um, Anything by Susie Orman is useful, and it's just foundational learning. And as your knowledge gets bigger, more. Lori just gave out a suggestion on YouTube. Totally, absolutely. I think that's about the crux of it for now. All right, hun. If you ever need to dig into that further, totally let me know. Okay, totally let me know. So Rhonda I'm going to scan upward a little bit. I'm going to see if I can see your question because I want to make sure that I take care of you, honey. Let's see. You said it was about your business, but I didn't see the question. And I was keeping an eye out for it. I might have missed it. So I'm going to scan up a little bit. Rhonda, Rhonda, Rhonda. Oh, there we go. Are you going in the right direction? Rhonda, you still here, hun bunch? I'm probably so loud. I'm sorry if I'm blowing out everybody's ears. I bet you are. At least I hope you are. Please still be here, Miss Rhonda. Rhonda. Yes! All right, honey. Let's see. Rhonda, 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 Rhonda. I've never read for you before. At least I don't think I have. Hold on. I'm kind of like hopping in here. Yeah, you feel familiar, but I don't believe I've read for you. So hold on, let me play around with this. Ooh, hun. You'd be easy to read. Okay, I'm going to share a little bit of info first, and then we're going to dig into your question. I don't know if how big your family is, because the first impressions that I'm getting off of your energy is like the court of people that you kind of have is as Team You, just excited for you, happy for you, loves you to bits and pieces. Like I feel like you're a woman that has a ton of aunts and aunties or like family friends that were just kind of like surrounding you as kind of that that oh I have okay good I'm glad I have bread for you, but I'm feeling like all your aunties kind of thing. So it's just like you have a lot of me. I want to be like that. I want to have like all the ancestors just standing there all the time. I have my few. I have my team, but I want like the chorus line of ancestors, and that's what I'm feeling off of you. So I just had to share that a little bit. So the right direction. That was your question. If you're going into the right direction with your Pink Diva Studio. Okay. Going into the right direction. Huh. The the what is this? There's this back and forth with it, so I'm trying to filter my way through. First things first, I am so freaking proud of the business that you've created so far. Like epic amounts of proud. And I feel like there's a lot of I feel like you had like a key moment in life where if you didn't change, you would have been dead by now, kind of thing. So whatever it is that you have to do to get to this point, I feel like everybody, like your big old course line, is super proud that you did this thing, you've done this much, you've gone this far, you've done all of this. So there's lots of pride there. Lots of pride. Where do you want it to go? Because that I think that's the question mark I'm getting is that there's not so much like a this thing can only go in one direction kind of thing. What I'm feeling is like there's lots of things that this could do, but having clarity of goal, of purpose for what Pink Diva Studio is going to do, or give back, or uncover, or solve, that kind of thing. Having some clarity in that regard would be beneficial to know if you are heading in the direction of the goal. If that makes sense to say. Yeah. Oh, I told you about that before. That's awesome that it's the same thing then. How cool is that? How cool is that? Let's see. Huh. Okay, so every time I'm hopping into the energy surrounding Pink Diva Studio, the biggest thing I keep getting is like podcasting, 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 podcasting. And the I'm trying to understand more about why, because I feel like there's something about awareness or spreading of information um, that is almost like vital, vital to do for this. Not even so much the business. It's like almost like for you to feel like you have purpose and like your give back is this podcast or your give back is the work that you're doing with Pink Diva Studio. Like, if that makes sense. Even if it doesn't, we're gonna figure it out. Let's keep going. I, are you podcasting already? Hi, Anna. You're looking, there we go. Okay. You're looking to grow financially and help others. I feel like growth. I feel like you're capable of so freaking much. That is why I'm kind of getting like, okay, so if we spin the wheel of things that are possible, which is the one that's most aligned with what you're going for? And are you like, is that part of your work? Is that you just started a new podcast? Very cool. Okay. The feeling that I'm getting, and it can totally change when you get further down the road. So, when you're thinking 6 years out, this will probably shift a bit. But I'm low key getting like podcast first, live events second, book third, travel after, as all part of a process. And I'm wondering what that process is. Because I feel like you have a mission and a goal, and not a mission. You have maybe it is a mission. You have a mission. I feel like you can't help but do that mission. It's almost a thing that wakes you up, drives you at night, kind of thing. Drives you at night, drives you maybe at night. It's the thing you think about. So, I mean, to circle back to the original question, are you heading in the right direction, or is it, are you doing the right thing with it? Then, like, undoubtedly, like, that's a big, loud yes. And it's, they saying I'm frozen. I'm sorry, Denise. Please let me know that you can see me, that you can hear me. Rhonda, looks like I'm still live there. I don't have my stuff on this side up anymore, so I'll have to rely on you. Can you let me know that I can be seen? I'll hold tight for a quick second while I keep reading from Rhonda. Not frozen, just fuzzy. Gotcha. Thanks, babe. Keep at it. She's my rock star. Thank you. Thank you, Lori. All right. Okay. So just to circle back, I feel like a Pink Diva Studio has this option of getting as big as you are willing to make it. I feel like your charisma, your kindness, your effervescence, your the fizzy nature of you helps it expand and reach. I do think you're going to need support and technical know-how that maybe you don't have just yet, but I want you to maintain like control. I don't give up control of it, but I do think you need like somebody else to kind of help with the heavy lifting of some of the aspects of running this job. But I do think if you just start a new podcast, if you follow that, the feeling is that has the ability to get bigger. Say it means to live, and you're kind of that reminder that this is possible too, or you can do this, and here's how, kind of thing. Like, or at least that's the vibe that I'm getting off of it. I feel like you're like a little bit of inspiration for people who've forgotten that magic is still a thing, or that inspiration is still a thing, or that it doesn't matter the freaking age, you can do anything under the sun, that's even possible. Sometimes we just need a model, and then we remember, oh yeah, I can. If that makes sense. Let's see what else is in there. I want to make sure I got the question originally, though. I believe I circled. No, I didn't pin it. Boo. Let's scroll back up. You're looking to grow financially and help others. Yeah, someone. Okay. Something I am getting pretty clearly is that I'm wanting you to actually steer clear away from grow your podcast courses. Like I feel like that's not going to be useful for you. Um, I would lean into a person, a producer, a person who you've made, you talk, you make these relationships, make these connections, and they do this. Like that's what they've done. And they already have proof of concept and they can do basically the same tactics for you and then do it a little bit bigger, like that kind of thing. But definitely leaning away from the whole like, follow my 5 steps and you'll have the greatest podcast ever. Please stay away from that. I don't think that's going to serve you at all in this situation. Good, good. Okay. Let's see. I was scrolling up for your question. That's what it was. Sorry, I'm scrolling up and making sure I got it right. That was it. Am I going in the right direction with Pink Diva Studio? You will definitely do that. Good. Even Antoinette is like network with other podcasters. Good. Are you going in the right direction? I would love nothing more for you to trust yourself completely in regards to the steps that you want to take with this business. Um, so lean into it. Well, trust yourself on it because you're the smartest one in the room when it comes to you. Okay, so it's okay to lean into what is appropriate for the work that you want to do. You also have like this little guiding little light. So if you follow that barometer, you can't help but go in the right direction, if that makes sense. Oh, Lori liked your page. Oh, I love my ladies. You have the best people ever. No, I feel like you can't help but go in the right direction because you're determining your direction at every decision that you're making. So long as it's in alignment with the broader goal that you have of continuing to grow, to help others, to be, fiscally stable in that regard, so long as you're not selling it off to someone new, then of course you're moving in that direction. That yeah. Is there anything else here? Anything else? I feel like we need to like ask your course line of aunties to like put you in the most like delightfully perfect situation to help you get the teammate that can help you continue to grow that aspect of the business and expand your reach on that side of the business so that it can further do that job. It's like I feel like you have like team that they just want to be tagged. You're it kind of thing. Oh, you're very welcome, Hun Bunch. Oh, Lori, there's a very, very good question. Lori asks Miss Rhonda if you can tell her what your podcasts are about. And I'm trying to see if there's anything else that we need to tap on. And I think that about covers it. Rhonda, you're a freaking rock star, Hun Bunch. Don't doubt yourself on that, okay? You already know. You already know. I love it. Dude, I would totally love to like have a glass of wine with you and be on your podcast. That'd be awesome. Alrighty, sweet souls. Oh my goodness. Hi, Melly. Thank you so much for coming to hang out with me. You guys. I've enjoyed this time so much. I need to get going because I have more work that I need to do in this evening, but it's been an absolute treat and a joy. And I've loved your resilience to my technical difficulties. I loved sharing with you all the relationship readings that we're going to be doing. I'm excited to see how many people have already signed up because I was seeing my emails coming through. There's so many. I will also go ahead and post that publicly. I'll be sharing that with you guys because it didn't quite land the way we wanted to here. So we'll just make sure that we make it public. So you guys take care. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. And I will let you know as soon as we have a date on the books for next month live session. Okay. And all the ideas. Yes. All right. Take care. souls. Have a great